Hey everyone, what is going on? So we're going to be talking about the Forest Cup, and basically this cup, you're not allowed any Kanto Pokemon. You can only use Pokemon from the Johto, Hoenn, Sinnoh, and Unova region. You can't use like Galar Pokemon or Alolan Pokemon, any of those forms. And you do have specific types that you're allowed to use as well. So I went ahead and made this guide. You guys seem to enjoy it a lot. So I made another one for the Forest Cup, and let me know if you want to continue with these meta guides. Now, obviously, if it's not on this list, it doesn't mean it's not good. This was made literally the first day the cup was announced, so obviously things can be different, but we're going to go ahead and take a look at some of my opinions, basically just studying on the meta as well as practicing a little bit of this cup. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the S+ rank. So these, in my opinion, are definitely the best Pokemon for this cup, or at least some of them. We have Mantine, right? Mantine is number one on PV Poke, rightfully so. It's definitely a solid Pokemon. It can lower the attacks with Bubble Beam and doing super effective damage to grass types with Ice Beam, so it's a really solid pick. I do have Wing Attack in mind, which again is going to be super effective against those grass Pokemon. So yeah, I mean, it's a really good Pokemon. It just has to watch out for electric users like Volt Switch Pokemon such as Pekarisu, Ampharos, and Galvantula. Pokemon like that, any electric type, is going to be strong against this. So, I mean, that goes without saying, right? So that is Mantine for you. Next up, we do have Ferrothorn. Now, Ferrothorn, as you guys know, recently got a buff with Bullet Seed, and it's not the only Pokemon that has Bullet Seed that's going to be really good for this cup. We have plenty of other users with Bullet Seed, but Ferrothorn I really do like because well, first of all, it's going to resist Dragon Breath from Kingdra, which we'll talk about in a moment, and Kingdra is probably going to be the best Pokemon in this cup, in my opinion. At least that's what it seems to be. Obviously, I could be wrong, so it is basically going to be able to beat Kingdra because it does resist all of its moves, and it's just a solid Bullet Seed user. I mean, it gets to its charge moves really fast. Power Whip, I have Flash Cannon on mine, but it also has Acid Spray, it has Thunder, so it has other coverage moves, so I think it's a really solid Bullet Punch user should you want to go with one, and you probably will. It just has to watch out. Obviously, it's double weak to fire, so it does have to watch out for that. But outside of that, it's a pretty solid pick. Now let's talk about Kingdra. Kingdra really important for this cup. It is a water type, so you would think that it's going to be weak to electric attacks as well as grass attacks, but it's also part dragon, so it's actually going to be neutral to them. So it's not weak, it's just neutral to both those types, both common types in this cup, especially grass. Plus, Dragon Breath is, for the most part, unresisted, besides Ferrothorn, as I just talked about. But for the most part, Dragon Breath is just going to eat away at a bunch of different options this cup. And it also has Octazooka, which, as you know, can lower your opponent's attack. I believe it's a 50% chance to lower that attack, and Outrage, both of which are very powerful moves. So, Kingdra definitely looking really solid. I think it's probably one of the best Pokemon in this cup. If you disagree, definitely let me know in the comments down below, and we can have a discussion about it. But I think Kingdra is really good. Even if it's not one of the best, I think it's going to remain on many players' teams. But that's just an early perspective on my end. Obviously, things can change. So next up, we're going to have Ampharos and Galvantula. Both of them are Volt Switch users. So really solid. Ampharos is ranked higher in PV Poke. I mean, I understand it. I haven't personally tried out Ampharos yet. I don't have one made for the Great League, so I will definitely try it out. But I'm liking Galvantula a lot because it does have Bug Buzz, so that's going to be super effective to the many grass types we have in this cup, right? So it's going to have great coverage. Focus Blast is a powerful move coming from Ampharos, but that's one reason I'm looking more so at Galvantula. But obviously, I have to try out Ampharos myself. Both of them are going to be super solid, though. They're both going to be amazing. Whichever one you go, probably only want to go with one Volt Switch user, but whichever one you go with is definitely going to be really good. But we'll have to see. Of course, you have to watch out for the fire attack users if you're using that Galvantula, though. So we're going to move on to the S rank tier. So we have Meganium. Meganium is a solid pick. Obviously, we know Meganium. Credilli, I want to talk about. It does have Bullet Seed, another Bullet Seed user, and it's a rock type, as well as a grass type. So it's not going to be weak to fire attacks. It's going to be neutral to them. It's also going to be neutral to water instead of resisting them, but it's just so solid. From what I understand, Bullet Seed is now a legacy move on Credilli. I could be wrong about that, but that's what I've seen people discussing on Twitter. So I don't know if it's just a mistake on Niantic's end, or maybe it's supposed to be Legacy. Maybe they removed it from its move pool. So don't start TMing it just yet until we figure things out. But if you have one, that seems to be a really good pick. I don't have a Bullet Seed user, so I can't use it yet. Well, a Bullet Seed Credilli. I have Credilli, just not a Bullet Seed one. So, well, I'll have to hold off on that, but it seems really good just because it does have that rock typing. So I think it's going to be amazing for this cup. I can't wait to use it. Definitely high up on the list. Next up, we have Blaziken and Typhlosion, two very powerful fire attack users. So we'll have to see how that plays out. They're both squishy. That doesn't mean they're bad. But, counter on the Blaziken, of course, with more Blaze Kick and Blast Burn, and then we have Shadow Claw on Typhlosion with Blast Burn and Solar Beam, so Solar Beam can hit those water attack users really hard. Then we have Cherrim. Cherrim is another user with Bullet Seed. So many Bullet Seed users. I'm so excited for this cup, guys. I can't even tell you. So, by the way, before I go any further, I want to let you know that I am planning on having a tournament on my Discord, so definitely go ahead and sign up for my Discord. Maybe we could have a Forest Cup tournament next month. So Cherrim is a Weather Ball user. I believe it takes 3 Bullet Seeds to get to Weather Ball. Absolutely insane, guys. A Fireball weather user, or a fire attack weather ball user. I think that's what I meant to say. So absolutely insane, super powerful. Can really spam those weather balls against the many grass type users. So Ferrothorn, even though I think it's really good, has to watch out for Cherrim. Cherrim might actually deserve a spot in the S plus tier because it's just such a good Pokemon. I actually immediately invested in it once this cut was announced. But anyway, moving on to the A rank, I know Jokes is going to be excited about Tangrowth as well as the Ampharos, but Tangrowth definitely going to be another solid pick for this cup. We'll have to see how it works out. Pekarisu is another Volt Switch user, so you can use that one if you have it. It is a regional, so could be pretty good. I think the Ampharos and Galvantula are probably going to be a little bit better, but Pekarisu is definitely a solid pick if you want to go a little bit spicy on your team and go with that Volt Switch user. Who doesn't love a Pekarisu, right? Then we have Sunny Cast Form, and I don't know why, but I get this one mixed up with Cherrim for some reason. I know they don't really look alike. Well, they kind of look alike. I don't know. But either way, another Weather Ball user, except it doesn't have Bullet Seed. It has Ember. So definitely still a solid pick. I think the Cherrim is probably going to be better, although Cherrim is a grass type, so at least you have the Weather Ball typing on your side with Sunny Cast Form. So both of them definitely going to be good. I actually have both of them for the Great League, so I just don't have the second move unlocked on Sunny Cast Form, so we'll have to see. Next up, we're going to talk about Crystal. So Crystal, a Rock and Bug user, so it definitely seems like it's going to have a solid pick in this cup. Not going to be weak to the grass attacks, going to be neutral to them, going to hit hard against the fire type users. So I think this is going to be pretty good, going to be able to do super effective damage against Pokemon like Mantine as well. So we'll have to see how that plays out. I actually just got a Crustle recently, so I'm probably want to try it out. And then Jumpluff, another Bullet Seed user. I think Jumpluff is going to be a really good pick as well. I don't think it's as good as some other Bullet Seed users like Ferrothorn or Cherrim, but I could totally be wrong. It could be amazing. It's definitely solid, so I can't wait to try it out. And I do have a Jumpluff, a pretty good ranked Jumpluff. Just don't have that second move on it yet, so we'll be trying it out. But yeah, it's just a solid pick. It has that Energy Ball as well, which was recently buffed. So if you want an Energy Ball user, whereas like Ferrothorn doesn't have Energy Ball, it just has Bullet Seed. Yeah, Jumpluff, definitely a good way to go. Definitely one that you might want to look into. So I can't wait to try that out as well. It's another Pokemon that might deserve to be in the S rank. So we're going to the other options. Now again, these Pokemon are by no means bad. We're just going to go ahead and talk about some of them. So we have Scolipede. Now Scolipede does have Poison Jab as a fast move, which I think is really good because there's so many good grass types in this cup, right? The Forest Cup, so many good grass users, and Poison Jab is going to be super effective to them. So hey, who doesn't love that? Plus it's going to resist the grass attacks like Bullet Seed and like anything else. It is weak to the fire weather ball or fire attacks in general because it is a bug type, so you do have to watch out for that. But overall, definitely an interesting pick. It's a Pokemon I want to try out. What can I say, right? I love Scolipede in general, so definitely want to try it out. Next up, we have Blossom. Now, does Blossom have Billet Seed? I don't know. I was looking at Blossom, and Blossom is definitely a pretty good option. I think it might have Billet Seed. I'm not too sure on that. I have to double check. But then we have Stunfisk. Now, I'm unsure about Stunfisk because it is going to be strong with that ground attack with ground attacks against the fire type users, but again, it's going to be weak to grass, and its charge attacks can't really do much against grass types, so I'm really unsure about Stunfisk. Heracross, another good option. It's weak to the fire attack users, but again, Megahorn's going to do a lot to grass attacks. Azumel, and this goes with like Lantern and Swampert or any water type in general. There's just so many good grass type users, so I'm really unsure about the water type users besides Kingdra. Now, I'm not saying there's not a need for water type attack users, but obviously there is, especially to go up against the fire Pokemon, so it's probably going to be good to have one water user on your team, but I'm not sure. I did put Azumel in the other options, believe it or not, and Azumel is basically good for every cup it's eligible in, but you guys might like it more than me for this cup. I don't know. Maybe it'll be good. I'll have to try it out. But then we have Minun, and obviously Minun, Plusle and Minun, both in this section. Other electric type users that you could definitely give a try if you don't want to use Volt Switch, but I'm leaning towards a Volt Switch user. Shiftry, we've seen Shiftry before. If it's pretty much a safe switch. I mean, obviously you do have to watch out for Blaziken and Counter or fire types in general, but it does neutral damage with the Foul Play as well, so it's definitely a really good pick. We talked about Lantern and Swampert, Zipstriker, and Raikou, other electric type users. Again, I'm leaning towards Volt Switch, but those are other users that you could definitely consider. So now we have the team options, so we're going to go ahead and look at 3 teams today. We're going to look at my team that I actually used in a video that I released yesterday. We're going to look at Mantine, Ferrothorn, Kingdra, Galvantula, Blaziken, and Cherrim. So pretty standard team. I mean, we do have that Billet Seed user. We have a couple Billet Seed users. Cherrim is firing off with that Weather Ball, whereas Ferrothorn does have the grass attack as well as Flash Cannon. Kingdra is a standard. I have it on all 3 of these teams. I don't know. Do you guys think you want to run a team without Kingdra? I don't know. Maybe you do. Maybe I'm totally wrong about that, but I think it's amazing. We have a Volt Switch user, Galvantula, and I'm unsure about Blaziken right now. I might want to replace it with maybe Typhlosion, or maybe even Sunny Castform. I'll have to see. I'm not really too sure. But either way, I like this team. I think it's a pretty solid team. The next team we have Credilli. Again, if you have the Billet Seed, I do want to try out Credilli. I just have to see if I can get a Billet Seed user. And then we have Typhlosion and Swampert. Pretty standard. Kingdra, again, as I've mentioned, Scolipede, got to try it on the team. And then a Volt Switch user, Ampharos. And the final team I do have is Mantine. Kingdra, again. Crustle, as I said, definitely a strong rock type user, going to be neutral to those grass attacks, as well as doing super effective damage with the rock attacks to fire type users. We have a Volt Switch user in Pachirisu. I'm biased towards Volt Switch, I gotta be honest with you guys. We do have Meganium as a grass type, and we have a Bullet Seed user as well, although this Bullet Seed user obviously gets to Weather Ball. But either way, I think these are pretty solid teams. Let me know your early draft team in the comments down below. And if you like this video, again, please leave a like and let me know that you liked it, and let me know if you'd like to see more meta guides like this each month that the new cup is announced. And yeah, that's going to be it for this video, guys. I will see you in the next one. Have a good day. Bye.